Date. Welcome to another edition of Morning Date when we get to meet the amazing figures from all walks of life. And today is no exception as I have the pleasure of sitting down with Paul Carver, the head of the Seoul Global Center. Good morning, Mr. Carver.
Good morning. How are you today?
Thank you very much for asking. Fine, thank you. I hope you're feeling well too.
A little bit tired to be up this early on a Saturday morning.
No, yes. Okay. Well, first of all, would you like to say hello to all the listeners out there?
Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a good Saturday morning, and I'm hopefully going to make it a little bit more interesting and give you some information about things to do. So
네.
Keep listening and let's have some fun.
우리말로 인사하실 수도 있잖아요.
네.
네. 우리말로도 한번
네.
부탁드려도 될까요?
네. 안녕하십니까 여러분. 저는 오늘 토요일 아침에 여기 와서 좀 재미있는 얘기 하려고 합니다. 잘 부탁드립니다.
네, 네. 왜 영어로 내가 이 인터뷰를 하는지 알 수가 없는 폴 카버 씨와 제 모닝 데이트를 진행하도록 하겠습니다. 일단 오늘 이 자리는 서울 글로벌 센터의 센터장으로 저희가 모셨어요. You are the head of the Seoul Global Center. So, can you give us a brief introduction of this center?
Sure. Seoul Global Center is run by Seoul City Hall, and it provides various services for foreign residents in Seoul. It's been running now for 10 years. We just recently celebrated our 10th anniversary. So nowadays there's about 450,000 foreigners living in Seoul, and as you may expect, they have various difficulties or problems adjusting to life here. So we're here to help them get fully adjusted to life in Seoul. They can make a success of their life here.
네.
And we provide various programs in terms of education, so Korean classes and business classes, and then we run various cultural events throughout the year.
네.
And then we have some counselors who can answer any question you may have about life in Seoul.
서울에 살고 있는 외국인들이 지금 벌써 45만 명 이상이요. 네, 45만 명이 살고 있고 서울의 생활에 적응할 수 있게 여러 가지 도움을 주는 그런 프로그램들을 하고 있는 곳이 바로 이 서울 글로벌 센터라고 소개해 주셨습니다. 서울시청에서 서울시가 직접적으로 운영하는 그런 곳인가 봐요.
예, 저기
나도 모르게 한국말로 자꾸 물어보게 되는데, so it's run by the Seoul, the metropolitan city of Seoul.
Right, so it's funded by taxpayers' money, and most of the programs are free to users.
I see.
So,
네. So you told us some programs that are taking place, like learning Korean and also providing them with help of adjusting to the life here in Seoul, I guess. But I'm sure, do they all have like different problems or different questions, or do they normally follow the routine rule of questions when they come for help?
During the course of a day, so we provide counselling in 12 different languages. So let's focus on the 12 countries that have the most people living in Seoul. And you can see some patterns between language, but also between visa types. So if you look at how the number of foreigners is broken down, you've got like workers, sort of factory workers, marriage immigrants, so people that are married to Koreans, foreign students, businessmen, and the kind of problems they have are slightly different. So.
그렇군요. 그러니까 어떻게 한국에 오게 되었는지에 따라서 문제들도 다른데, 보니까 이제 공장들을 비롯한 여러 곳에서 이제 일을 하고 있는 외국인 노동자들, 그런 층이 있고, 또 한국에 이제 결혼을 통해서 한국에 오게 된 그런 사람들도 있을 것이고, 그다음에는 뭐 사업자 아니면 여러 가지 그런 이유들이 있을 것 같고, 또 그에 따라서 질문들도 다르게 될 것 같습니다. Then what is still the biggest popularity? What part of foreigners take up the biggest portion of them living here? Are they the workers, or in factories, or are they just the average business people?
Among foreigners living in Seoul, I think 노동자, so people working in factories take up the biggest proportion, maybe about 25%.
네.
And then marriage immigrants, so people that are married to Koreans, is probably the second biggest.
I see.
And in the last couple of years, we've seen a huge increase in the number of foreign students. So nowadays we have maybe 40,000 foreign students living in Seoul at any one time.
I see. Where do they come from? Do they come from, what continent do they mostly come from?
So about 55% of foreigners living in Seoul are from China. And then other big populations are Vietnam, Philippines, Mongolia, Russia, those kind of areas. But if you want to break down into like full statistics, people come from all over the world, maybe 160, 170 different countries.
Is there a sudden rise from a certain country, or has it been, just an average for quite some time?
I think in terms of Western countries, it's probably slightly on a downward trajectory. So maybe 10 years ago, there was a huge push to increase the number of native-speaking English teachers in schools and around. So there was a huge influx of English teachers at that time. But in recent years, the government's kind of been decreasing that program. So the number of English teachers has been going down. Obviously, with the Korean wave, the popularity of Korean studies in universities around the world has increased. So we've seen a number of foreign students from the West increasing.
네.
But still not enough to offset the decrease in English teachers, I think.
네. 한동안 우리나라에서 그 원어민 선생님에 대한 수요가 상당히 높았었는데 그럴 때 이제 외국인 분들이 많이 한국에 이렇게 초대가 되고 초빙이 되고 또 한국에서 쉽게 직장을 얻을 수 있다라고 해서 온 경우가 많은데 요즘은 상대적으로 그때에 비해서 이제 그 필요가 수요가 많이 없어지다 보니까 이렇게 그 선생님들은 많이 빠져나가고 그에 비해서 한국 문화를 배우려고 하는 그런 학생들의 유입이 많아진다는 이야기를 해주셨습니다. Then can you give us a few examples of the most common questions that the foreigners ask at your center?
I think on a day-to-day basis, people need help dealing with some of the admin facts of life in Korea. So they need to know how to send money abroad or how to set up a phone, things like that. So all those kind of everyday questions that probably those of us who've been living here for years take for granted. Beyond that, we get a lot of demand for, so we have a pool of lawyers in the centre. So if you have any kind of legal problems, you can come along and consult the lawyers about what your rights are and what steps you can take. So a lot of people come when they're having some dispute with their boss or their company and consult with a labour lawyer. So that's another very popular thing. And then recently we started a kind of psychological counselling service. So some people, they come to Korea, they left behind all their friends and family, and they have to some struggle adjusting to life in Korea. So they get a little bit lonely, maybe a little bit depressed. So we can help them talk those issues through with a counsellor and get back on a good path to good mental health.
네. 그러니까 법률적인 그런 도움뿐만이 아니라 얘기했던 그런 정신적인 도움도 정말 반드시 필요할 것 같다는 생각이 드네요. 아무래도 가족들과 친구들 자신의 환경을 떠나서 이렇게 혼자 특히 와 있는 경우는 여러 가지 어려움들이 분명히 있을 거라는 그런 생각이 들었습니다. 그러니까 실질적인 도움 안에는 그런 정신적인, 정서적인 도움까지도 포함이 된다라는 게 상당히 흥미롭네요. 자, 그러면 지금 저희 프로그램을 듣고 계시는 분들을 위해서 또 저희가 또 많은 선물을 준비하지 않았겠어요? 그래서 그 선물을 나눠드리기 위해서 퀴즈를 하나 내드리도록 하겠습니다. 자, 그러면 well, if you have a quiz question for us, would you like to please give it to us now?
Okay, so a person who is residing in a country other than their native country can be referred to as 1. Extra, 2. Expat, 3. Expo.
네. Once again, can you please repeat the question?
A person who is residing in a country other than their native country can be referred to as, is it A, an extra, B, an expat, C, an expo?
네. 자신이 태어난 나라에 살지 않고 다른 나라에 가서 사는 사람을 무엇이라고 부를 수 있을까요? 1번은 extra, 2번은 expat, 3번은 expo. 네, 정답을 알고 계시는 분들께서는 짧은 문자는 50원, 긴 문자는 100원인 샵 1045번으로 보내주시고요. 아니면 저희 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스를 통해서 보내주셔도 되겠습니다. 정답 맞춰주신 분들 중 저희가 몇 분을 추첨해서 인절미 과자 한 박스씩 보내드리도록 하겠습니다. 자, 그러면 이 서울 글로벌 센터에 대한 이야기를 조금 더 해볼 텐데요. 아무래도 도움을 받고자 하는 외국분들이 많아질수록 이 글로벌 센터의 중요성이 많이 강조가 될 것 같습니다. So where is this center located at?
It's located in Cheongno, right next to exit 6 of Cheongak Station, next to a very famous bookstore, which I guess I won't name, but...
Yes, one of the most famous, actually the most famous bookstore that we have here in Korea,
Is it
especially in Seoul.
It's located roughly halfway between the two most famous bookstores in Korea.
Yes.
But if you come out of exit 6 and walk 100 meters or so, you can see big letters of a sign saying Seoul Global Center, so you can't miss it. And we're on the
Okay.
4th, 5th and 6th floor of that building.
And all people can go and visit, those who are maybe foreigners or who are expats or who have those issues, but people who are related to them. Maybe I can be a factory owner of the people that I can hire. Can they also go for help in these cases?
Yeah, I think so. If they have a question that's related to anything to do with foreigners, then we'll do our best to try and help them.
Okay. And also, this might be a sensitive question, but some people, they're still illegal here in Korea. Can they also go and ask for help?
I guess technically not, but we don't ask for any kind of ID when they come, so
I see.
we're not making any sort of attempt to check people's status. And from time to time, we do get a lot of people who ask about their immigration status and what they need to do. So definitely, we do have people who've overstayed their visas coming to figure out how they can get out of their situation. So.
네. 그러니까 여러 가지 삶의 전반에 대해서 한국에서의 생활하는데 뭐 보니까 언어를 비롯해서 여러 가지 도움을 받을 수 있는 그런 곳인 것 같습니다. Then maybe what is the biggest question that they have or difficulty that they face in regards to cultural differences?
Cultural difference. I mean, the number one problem that people have is language, and then everything else sort of stems from that. So,
yes.
on terms of culture, I think it's a different. Shall we say? A lot of the problems that people have stem from not understanding the way that Koreans work. Shall we say, like corporate culture?
Yes.
So, as I mentioned earlier, that a lot of people come to consult labour lawyers because they had a dispute at work, and that's basically because they didn't understand what Korean employers are expecting of them.
Yes.
Sometimes also we find that there's a difference between Korean legal system and foreign legal system, and so things like what people expect in terms of self-defense law, or what they're allowed to do in a certain situation is different to what Korean law allows, so they get various legal problems in respect of that.
Okay.
So, hard to say.
네, 뭐 하나라도 이렇게 딱 집어서 얘기할 수는 없지만 분명히 예를 들어서 뭐 기업 문화 아니면 회사 문화, 사회 문화, 문화적인 차이에서 오는 갈등도 상당히 많지 않을까 이런 생각이 듭니다. 자, 오늘은요 서울 글로벌 센터의 센터장이신 폴 카버 씨와 이야기를 나누고 있는데요. 일단 노래 한 곡 듣고 계속해서 이야기 나누도록 하겠습니다. This is Lyndon David Hall. All you need is love.